Yahweh, ay tiyak mo ngang nababati. Salamat Panginoon, kilala mo ako. Ang lahat ng bagay ay hilingin sa'yo. Salamat Panginoon, tinutuwid mo ako. Ikaw lang ang may alam ng aking patutunguhan. Salamat sa'yo, Panginoon. Ang lahat ng aking ginagawa sa'yo ay hindi lingid. Ang lahat kong lihim, O Yahweh, ay tiyak mo ngang nababatid. Salamat Panginoon, kilala mo ako. Ang lahat ng bagay ay hilingin sa'yo. Salamat Panginoon, tinutuwid mo ako. Ikaw lang ang may alam ng aking patutunguhan. Salamat sa'yo, Panginoon. Salamat Panginoon, kilala mo ako. Ang lahat ng bagay ay hilingin sa'yo. Salamat Panginoon, tinutuwid mo ako. Ikaw lang ang may alam ng aking patutunguhan. Salamat sa'yo, Panginoon.
Magandang gabi po sa bawat isa. God is good all the time. And all the time, He is good. Bago po muna tayo tumako sa salita ng ating Panginoon, tayo pong lahat ay manalangin. Maraming salamat po aming Ama sa gabing ito na pinagkaisa-isa mo ang aming mga puso sa pamamagitan ng pakikinig ng iyong mabuting salita. Ikaw ang tunay at buhay na Diyos at kahit anumang sitwasyon, nananatili ang kabutihan mo sa aming lahat. Dalangin ko na patuloy nawa kaming manabik sa iyong salita na siyang aming lakas at inspirasyon. Pinupuri ka namin at sinasamba sa matamis na pangalan mo, Jesus. Amen. Ating pong buksan ang ating Biblia sa Mark chapter 5 verses 21 to 43. When Jesus had again crossed over by the boat to the other side of the lake, a large crowd gathered around him while he was by the lake. Then one of the synagogue leaders named Jairus came, and when he saw Jesus, he fell at his feet. He pleaded earnestly with him, "My little daughter is dying. Please come and put your hands on her so that she will be healed and live." So Jesus went with him. A large crowd followed and pressed around him, and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years. She had suffered a great deal under the care of many doctors and had spent all she had, yet instead of getting better, she grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came up behind him in the crowd and touched his cloak, because she thought, "If I just touch his clothes, I will be healed." Immediately her bleeding stopped and she felt in her body that she was freed from her suffering. At once, Jesus realized that power had gone out from him. He turned around in the crowd and asked, "Who touched my clothes?" "You see the people crowding against you," his disciples answered, "and yet you can ask, 'Who touched me?'" But Jesus kept looking around to see who had done it. Then the woman, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell at his feet, and trembling with fear, told him the whole truth. He said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be freed from your suffering." While Jesus was still speaking, some people came from the house of Jairus, the synagogue leader. "Your daughter is dead," they said. "Why bother the teacher anymore?" Overhearing what they said, Jesus told him, "Don't be afraid, just believe." He did not let anyone to follow him except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James. When they came to the home of the synagogue leader, Jesus saw a commotion, with people crying and wailing loudly. He went in and said to them, "Why all this commotion and wailing? The child is not dead, but asleep." But they laughed at him. After he put them all out, he took the child's father and the disciples who were with him, and went in where the child was. He took her by the hand and said to her, "Talitha kum," which means, "Little girl, I say to you, get up." Immediately the girl stood up and began to walk around. She was 12 years old. At this they were completely astonished. He gave strict orders not to let anyone know about this, and told them to give her something to eat. As a Christian, we are called to live and walk a life of faith. It is part of our Christian life. Without faith, we cannot please God. Yet, we can say that walking in faith is not that easy. What makes a life of faith difficult is that we don't know what lies ahead of us. That is the reason why faith requires trust. Trusting that even you don't know what is ahead of you, you are still confident that He is there with us, whispering, "Don't be afraid, just believe." And tonight, the title of the message is Trust God. Ano nga ba ang nais ituro ng Diyos sa pagtitiwala? Una, trust God in our helpless situation. Ngayon, kapag naririnig natin ang mga balita sa TV, hindi maaalis ang balita patungkol sa kamatayan. At kapag naririnig natin ito, tinutusok ang ating mga puso at nagbibigay ito ng kalungkutan sa atin. And there is nothing as helpless as death, because we all know and believe that death is the end of life here on earth. Ngunit mula sa ating binasa, makikita natin that Jesus was never intimidated by death. When the news arrived that the daughter of Jairus was dead, Jesus encouraged Jairus to believe. When others had given up their faith because of the helpless situation, Jesus encourages us to keep on believing. When the doctor says it is end of the line, Jesus encourages us to keep believing. When the economic expert says that it is economically impossible, Jesus encourages us to keep believing. When your pockets say you don't have enough anymore, Jesus encourages us to keep believing. When others says that it is time to give up, Jesus encourages us, "Don't be afraid, just believe." Ngayong panahong ito, gaya ni Jairus, we are in our helpless situation. Who would have thought na mangyayari sa atin ang sitwasyong ito? One way or another, we are overwhelmed sa mga naririnig at nababalitaan nating mga pangyayari sa ating paligid. But si Jesus ay never na-overwhelm sa mga sitwasyong ito. Gaya nga ng sabi ni Jesus kay Jairus, He is telling us, do not be afraid. At ngayon, hinahayaan tayo ng Panginoon na maniwala sa Kanya. He is teaching us to believe in Him. Sa totoo lang, si Jairus, he came to Jesus because he believes that He can heal her daughter from her sickness. Pero pinakita ni Lord that hindi lang ang pagpapagaling ng sakit ang kaya niyang gawin. Even sa kamatayan ay kaya niyang magligtas. Because ito ang hindi mababaling katotohanan that there is nothing too difficult to our God. With Jesus, there is no helpless situation. Pangalawa, trust God even when others don't. Our faith is often challenged by those people who have given up their faith. We are easily discouraged when we see someone who is mature to us spiritually and yet they had given up their faith. We are easily discouraged when we pass through a difficult situation in life. Jesus entered the house of Jairus and went through the room of the daughter of Jairus, and Jesus faced those doubters, those people who says, do not disturb Jesus. There will come a time that our faith will be challenged. If that time comes, let Jesus come in. Maaring katulad ngayon, we can hear discouragements mula sa mga taong nasa paligid natin. This is the right time to let Jesus come in. When we are afraid, let Him come in upang bigyan ka niya ng lakas ng loob. Allow God na iparanas at ipakita ang pag-ibig niya sa iyo sapagkat His love drives out fear and gives us peace. When we don't know what is happening to us, let Him come in and believe that He knows everything na nangyayari sapagkat He is all-knowing God. At bago pa mangyari ang mga bagay na ito, ay alam niya na. Kaya dapat kang maniwala sa Kanya. When we are weak, let Him come in upang ikaw ay bigyan niya ng sapat na lakas. Because when we are weak, He is strong. Never si Lord nanghina sa mga bagay na nangyayari sa paligid natin. But, mas lalong pinapakita ng ating Panginoon that He is so powerful. Gaya ng isinulat sa awit 121, 1b-2, Where does my help comes from? It comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. Nagmula sa gumawa ng lahat ng bagay, ang magbibigay sa atin ng tulong at lakas. When you are in doubt, trust Him. What if nakinig si Jairus sa mga taong nagsasabi sa kanya na, do not bother Jesus? Dahil patay na ang kanyang anak. Makikita kaya niyang binuhay ni Jesus ang kanyang anak? Ang laki siguro nang nawala kay Jairus dahil nakinig siya sa mga discouragement na ito. Meron siyang choice na makinig sa mga discouragement, but he chose to trust in Jesus. He chose to trust doon sa sinabi ni Jesus, do not be afraid, believe in me. Kaya nga, kung ikaw ngayon, never give up sa paglapit kay Lord. Dahil gaya ni Jairus, makikita mo ang kagandahan ng nagtitiwala sa Kanya at makikita mo ang kapangyarihan ng Diyos sa buhay mo. Pangatlo, trust God because nothing is impossible with Him. We can stand all the trials and problems not because of our own strength, wisdom, and power, but because we have a God who can do impossible things. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. We have God whose power is beyond everything. Gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina, siya ang gumawa ng lahat ng bagay. Siya ang gumawa ng langit at lupa. Sa pamamagitan ng kanyang salita, sumusunod ang hangin. Kapag sinabi niyang huminto ito'y hihinto. Kapag sinabi niyang umulan, at uulan nga. Mula sa tubig, ginawa niya itong alak. At ang buhay na meron ka ngayon ay mula sa Kanya. Nagpapakita lamang that we have an omnipotent God. His resurrection proves that even death could not hold Him. At kung ang kamatayan ay hindi siya kayang talunin, ano pa ang hindi kayang gawin ng ating Panginoon? Hindi ba't wala? Lahat ay posible sa Kanya. Wala siyang hindi kayang gawin sapagkat siya ay Diyos. This is the reality that we often forget, that our God is big, bigger than any problems, bigger than the sickness, bigger than our needs, bigger than the virus na kinaharap natin ngayon. Jairus knew these things. So he came to Jesus because he knows what the doctors cannot, Jesus can. Pang-apat at panghuli, trust God for He is our only hope. Our life is full of interruptions. So with Jairus, kung kailan ka nagmamadali, saka may mga sumisingit. Jairus is very much in a hurry. For him, every second counts. But this unknown woman interrupts. When interruption comes in your life, you need to trust God. Kasi nung time na yon, si Jairus, pwede niya namang sabihin kay Lord, kung pwede po sana Lord, wag mo nang hanapin yung humawak sa damit mo kasi nasa kritikal na sitwasyon ng anak ko at kailangan ng magmadali. Ngunit hindi niya ito ginawa dahil nagtiwala siya sa Panginoon. In every unexpected twist of our plans, marriage, work, health, etc., we need to trust our God that His plans are much greater than our plans. For Jairus, he believes that Jesus will heal his daughter. But when he heard that her daughter is dead, he needs to trust God. Ang plano ni Jairus is pumunta kay Jesus, dalhin si Jesus sa kanilang tahanan dahil naniniwala siya na kayang pagalingin ni Jesus ang kanyang anak. But yung plan ni Lord is much better doon sa plano niya dahil pumunta siya upang magbigay buhay. At nag-iba man ang mga pangyayari, si Jairus ay nanatili sa pagtitiwala sa ating Panginoong Jesus. Conclusion. What are the plans of your life that had been interrupted? In your helpless situation, trust God. When others gave up on their faith, trust God. When there is nothing you can do and everything is impossible, trust God. When all your hope is gone, trust God. Awitin po natin ngayon ang kay buti-buti mo, Panginoon, at gawin natin itong isang panalangin sa ating Diyos.
Sa lahat ng oras, sa bawat araw, ika'y naging tapat kong magmahal. Ang iyong kaawa ay magpapalang hanggan. Pinupurit, sinasamba kita. dakilang Diyos at Panginoon. Tunay ngang ika'y walang katulad, tunay ngang ika'y di nagbabago. Mabuti ang Diyos na sa akin ay nagmamahal. Kay buti-buti mo, Panginoon, sa lahat ng oras, sa bawat araw, ika'y naging tapat kong magmahal. Ang iyong kaawa ay magpawalang hanggan. Pinupulit, sinasamba kita, dakilang Diyos at Panginoon. Tunay ngang ika'y walang katulad, tunay ngang ika'y di nagbabago. Mabuti ang Diyos na sa akin ay nagmamahal. Pinupulit, sinasamba kita, dakilang Diyos at Panginoon. Tunay ngang ika'y walang katulad, tunay ngang ika'y di nagbabago. Mabuti ang Diyos na sa akin ay nagmamahal. Mabuti ang Diyos na sa akin ay nagmamahal. Mabuti ang Diyos na sa akin ay nagmamahal.
Tunay nga po na mabuti kang Diyos na sa amin ay nagmamahal. Salamat po dahil sa iyong salita, pinatunayan mo na karapat-dapat kang pagkatiwalaan sa lahat ng pagkakataon. Dalangin ko na sa panahon ng aming panghihina, ipaalala mo ang salita mo siyang nagbibigay sa amin ng kalakasan. Purihin ka at sambahin aming dakilang Diyos na may likha ng lahat ng bagay. Sa pangalan ni Jesus, Amen.